5 days away until the Patriots take the field against the Las Vegas Raiders. And today, they released their unofficial depth chart for Week 1 of the NFL season. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. A little bit surprises, not too much in general, but it kind of shows what defense the Patriots is running and also a player position move going into Week 1. But before we get into that, UNC, they had their debut last night, and it was Belichick's first time. And they released their depth chart to the media, to the scouts, and you can see it right here. Yeah, no players. No players whatsoever. Belichick was just like quarterback, running back, so on and so forth, position, which I think is so dumb, but is that not the most classic Belichick thing that there is? I thought it was funny. Thought I'd show you guys. They got blown out by TCU. Maybe he needed Brady. I don't know. But let's get into the depth chart. And we know during last week that Tommy DeVito was claimed by the Patriots. He is on the roster, and he is QB3. No doubts, Drake Maye at number 1, Josh Dobbs at number 2. I think there could be a little quarterback battle between Josh Dobbs and Tommy DeVito as we get later into the season. But right now, I'm going to put Dobbs at 2 as the veteran. And Tommy DeVito, if he shows out in practice, which he did during the Giants, Mr. Tommy Cutlets himself, and during the game, he could easily move into that backup spot. We are going up against the Raiders, and here on Patriots Today, we are going up against the biggest channel here at Chat Sports. It is going to be a battle, and this is the first day that we're doing it. It's a sub-battle with the Raiders Report. I want to show Mitchell Renz, that we are the best channel here on YouTube. It's going to be a battle. I'm excited for it. So let's start it off well. Let's get a head start on them. Subscribe to Patriots Today for coverage all throughout the week. We are going live tomorrow previewing the game. Now to the running backs. And you'll notice how there's 4 on this list now. And yeah, the biggest surprise is TreVeyon Henderson as running back 3. But you can see right there that Jack Westover is now listed at the fullback 1. He made the roster as the 3rd kind of tight end on this, but you could see this from Mike Reiss earlier this morning. Patriots updating their rosters at home. Jack Westover has changed his number from 87, Gronk's old number, to 37, his number at the University of Washington, and his primary role has been moved to a fullback type of duties with also on special teams. I'm happy for him because he deserves that fullback spot. I've been saying it throughout the camps, throughout preseason, that he would be the number 1 fullback, and you don't really need 3 tight ends when you got Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry. And the big one, TreVeyon Henderson still listed as the 3rd running back on the depth chart. He is going to get starter reps. He is going to probably get 16, 17 carries on Sunday and going to be on 3rd down, going to catch passes. I expect him to get a lot more reps on the field than Antonio Gibson, which is listed right now. So probably a couple weeks down the line, Henderson will just slowly climb and climb and climb. Then you go to the wide receivers. After they cut Kendrick Bourne, he asked for his release, and cutting Javon Baker, who went to the Eagles. You got 6 of them. Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte as your 3, and then Matt Collins, Efton Chisholm as your backup slot, and then Kyle Williams as your wide receiver 2. Then you have going to the tight ends, and you can see right here, no backups now that Jack Westover has moved over from the tight end position to the fullback position. So only 2 tight ends on the roster, Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. C.J. Dupree's on the practice squad. There's G. Scott's on the practice squad. So there's a lot of tight ends backing up just in case someone gets hurt that could get promoted to the active roster. And I'm still kind of a little iffy about this offensive line. Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Garrett Bradbury, Michael Wenu, Morgan Moses is your starting 5. But you can see right there that on the depth chart, Caden Wallace is listed as just the backup guard. He's listed as backup left guard and backup right guard. I like having 10 guys on the roster. I like having 10 offensive linemen just so you have a backup for every single position. But I guess Mike Vrabel, he trusts the offensive line. And you could see that kind of not too many changes from preseason week 1. Henderson is still that 3rd string back, which we all know that he's not. But the Patriots just like listing him. The wide receivers, no surprise there. The big one is just Jack Westover moving in from tight end all the way into fullback. And that kind of shows what personnel the Patriots are going to do on offense. I think we're going to see a ton of I formation because why else would you have a fullback, especially with the Josh McDaniels type offense coming back? And it's a revenge game for Mr. McDaniels. He was fired on Halloween by the Raiders a few years ago. Fired on Halloween. So I know that this is going to be a revenge game for him. And also, we want to show up the owner, Tom Brady. So who you got? Type New England for Patriots or type LV. I know the Raiders fans have been getting in the videos a little bit throughout the weekend. Go let them know who we got in this game. Type your NEs in the comments section. Going to get into the defensive depth charts, and that's where a little bit of the more surprises come here. But I got to tell you about the sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. Still have this lineup going on because the football season has not officially begun. A max discount from PrizePicks. Just one singular yard from Dak Prescott and the season player projections for Drake Maye, the more on passing touchdowns, 19.5, and more for Stephon Diggs, 735.5 receiving yards. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Going on to the defensive tackle depth chart, we'll kind of shift them from defensive tackles to pass rushers, and you see Milton Williams, Khyiris Tonga, and Christian Barmore. Joshua Farmer behind Milton Williams and Jeremiah Farms behind Khyiris Tonga. Only 5 guys. And that officially says, yeah, I was moving Keion White to the edge throughout the whole entire offseason. And guess what? He was officially moved to the edge. But you see him. He's the backup. Chaisson is there at 2, Harold Landry as your other starter, and then Anthony Jennings and Elijah Ponder are your backups. But Chaisson officially moves into that starting spot, and I think he's deserved it. He's looked good in camp. He looked good during the preseason. And Keion White was a little iffy. And the Patriots, they announced their starters, or not starters, they announced their captains for this season, and also just a game captain for the game against Las Vegas. And you can see right here, Chaisson will be a game captain for the opener against the Raiders. He played for them back in 2024, earned the nod from Vrabel after receiving team captain votes from his peers on defense and special teams. I think he's going to have a breakout year, and I think he's he fits this scheme very well. But because he jumped White so quickly, I'd keep an eye on Keion White. I don't know if he's going to be on this team for the future. And we'll talk about the safeties because Jabrill Peppers is no longer a part of this team. And Keion White fits that mold of, hey, he was playing in the second half of the Giants game, and that's a little question mark there. So I'd keep an eye on Keion White throughout the regular season as we move forward later down the road. Then we go to the linebackers. Robert Spillane, Christian Ellis, this is no change from what we saw during camp and during the preseason. Marte Mapu and Jack Gibbons on your backups. The one thing I noticed about the cornerbacks is that they no longer list 3. There is no longer a nickel corner on this roster. You have Marcus Jones, who was listed as a captain, but he is now the backup to Christian Gonzalez and to Carlton Davies. You have DJ James. You have Alex Austin, who I think are great players. But Marcus Jones, that is a little interesting to me because we saw throughout all of last season and throughout the offseason how there was 3 cornerbacks listed, including that nickel corner when Marcus Jones. I expect him to play a lot of nickel, but that just tells you what the main defensive sets are going to be for this Pats team. Then we go to the safeties. And yeah, we'll talk about it because I only made a video for you guys on Friday, but Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins are your starters. Kyle Duggar, he's still been with Scout Team, but he is listed as the backup. And then you have Del Pettis and Brennan Schooler, who's technically listed as the safety, but he's a special team specialist. He's going to be only playing special teams. But then I just want to kind of talk about it because Mike Vrabel, he talked about it in his press conference yesterday, and he said that the scheme was certainly not the issue for why Jabrill Peppers was released. We're going to try to do what's best for the team, and that's a decision that we had to make. And again, I wish the best. It has been a couple days now, and there is rumors that there was no off the field. It was not because he wasn't a part of the system. So what was the reason I don't know. Why don't you keep him on the roster? He was the Patriots' arguably third best player, a captain from last year, and it still to this day doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I wanted him on this team. And when I got the news on Friday, I was in the middle of walking through Times Square, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? So Elliott Wolf, Vrabel, what the hell is going on? Because I still don't think he should have been released. I think he was a part of this team. It wasn't a cap hit or anything like that. It was just, hey, we want to create our separate ways. Do we trust Jalen Hawkins and Craig Woodson that much at that young age? I don't know. I think you should have had a captain on this team. You let me know down in the comments, though. Do you think Peppers should have been released? Do you think he should still be on this team? Do you think he should have been cut? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. And then you have your specialist depth chart. You could see Bryce Behringer as your punter, Andy Borregales as your kicker. Antonio Gibson still getting the nod as starting kick returner after opening the preseason from Travion Henderson, putting on the Jets. Marcus Jones is your punt returner, no doubt about that one. And Julian Ashby as your long snapper. And before we get on out of here, play the Raiders. I thought I'd give a little score prediction. You'll see this on my videos throughout the week. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it won't. But I think the Patriots win this one 27-20. Give me a Patriots win. The Patriots are starting 1-0, so you can also give your score predictions down there in the comments section. But if you also want to keep the conversation going, people were DMing me on Instagram and Twitter after the Jabrill Peppers cutting, like, what the hell are we doing? And I'm responding to them. My DMs are open. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Instagram @TheRealAlper. And as always, let's go Pats.